Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mother? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you let me know you can hear me? Because there were some problems earlier with a video that I did where the sound didn't work. So I need David. Let me know. Hi, David. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Quizzical. Hi, Julie. Just let me know if you can hear me okay before I start going off on my spiel. Ah, great. Fantastic. Hope you can hear the videos because this man, David put it in capitals. Yes. It's like shouting into capitals when you put things in capitals. Anyway, I've literally just finished work about 15 minutes ago, and I've got to go and pick up number one son later. I'm already in my pajamas. I'm going to go and pick him up in my pajamas. It's only a 10-minute drive, but I'm tired and, I'm ready for bed, to be honest. But long day, but while I was in the middle of a class, this was happening. The verdict was coming through, the sentencing, everything was coming through, and I was in a class and wanting to, talk about it and that with you guys and that, because it is, it's a very flat feeling. It must feel there's like a celebration, about it in a way, but it's not proper celebration, is it? Because poor Laken, she's never coming back, is she? So I expect her parents have got a very flat feeling as we speak, although they'll be happy with the verdict. Hi, Kelly. Anyway, I haven't told you what the verdict is yet, though I did put out a community post with it. Let's have a look. This guy, Jose Ibarra, of course, he murdered Laken Riley while she was just jogging around her university campus in Georgia in the USA. And he's so impassive, even as he gets the sentence. So, the verdict. So look at the verdict first. This is him getting the verdict.
Count 4, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty.
Let me go back to the beginning.
I'll now announce the verdict. In the state of Georgia versus Jose Antonio Ibarra, case SU 24CR0323, count 1, malice murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 2, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 3, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 4, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 5, kidnapping with bodily injury. I find the defendant guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault with intent to rape. I find the defendant guilty. Count 7, aggravated battery. I find the defendant guilty. Count 8, obstructing or hindering a 911 call. I find the defendant guilty. Count 9, tampering with evidence. I find the defendant guilty. Count 10, peeping Tom. I find the defendant guilty.
So,
you may be surprised to learn that at some
guilty on all counts. Let me come back. I've lost my way there. Guilty on all counts. Hi, Fluffy. I literally don't really understand why he, didn't just plead guilty. Maybe he would have had a little chance of parole somewhere down the line if he would have showed some remorse. He was so impassive, wasn't he? How did he ever think that it could go any other way? I want to watch it again, actually. just that. It was a weird. It kept wanted to show me adverts. Don't want to see adverts. I just want to see the verdict. We're going to see the victim impact statement from Laken's mum and dad, and then we're going to watch the sentencing. So let's see. I wonder what won't show me a load of adverts. Let's see. So it's a very good result. We've had a fair amount of justice, haven't we, lately? Luckily. Why is it not? Where's the sound? Sorry, because I'm tired. I'm not.
Verdict read within the last hour or so. Let's listen to it.
Let's listen to it.
I'll now announce the verdict. In the state of...
He seemed to look at the judge really as if he was sort of half hoping that it would be not guilty. How could he ever have thought that would be not guilty?
Georgia versus Jose Antonio Ibarra, case SU 24 CR 0323, count 1, malice murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 2, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 3, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 4, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 5, kidnapping with bodily injury. I find the defendant guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault with intent to rape. I find the defendant guilty. Count 7, aggravated battery. I find the defendant guilty. Count 8, obstructing or hindering a 911 call. I find the defendant guilty. Count 9, tampering with evidence. I find the defendant guilty. Count 10, peeping Tom. I find the defendant guilty.
So I really do find this case, I don't know why, I just find it so strange. I know his motive was RAPE, but it just seems like, is he really so thick? It just feels like, how he can't ever have thought that he was going to get away with this. Really does strike me as strange because, normally when somebody kills somebody, maybe there's a reason for it, like financial reason or something like that, or maybe it is RAPE. But he didn't actually manage to RAPE her. I mean, what was he doing? It feels like there's almost no reason for this crime except was he high as a kite? Remember, his wife said to him, "Had you been smoking?" Is that why he did it? There just seems to be nothing there with this guy. He's just sat there. Look at his face. I wouldn't say he looks sort of evil either. He doesn't look anything. Some people just look evil. I mean, he just looks disinterested. It just looks like it's just like, oh God, I can't believe I've been dragged here again and I've got to go through this and I've got to listen to this. And oh my God, he's found me guilty on all counts. I can't believe it. It's like he's sort of in a parallel universe, It's very odd. I think he's a very odd criminal. But anyway, he did it and he's been found guilty of it, and good that he's been found guilty of it. But I still think, maybe quizzical because, maybe he got angry because she scratched him. Yeah. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Seffi. Yeah. Yeah, well, he's going to be babysat. Yeah, he is. But at least women are safe, Seffi. So that's what matters, really. I don't believe in the death penalty, so I think he'll suffer more being in prison, to be honest. That's the way I look at it. But he's a very odd guy, isn't he? He's like got nothing about him whatsoever. So it makes it more annoying, really. But anyway, so I'm going to look at the impact statements now. Her friends also spoke. We're not going to listen to those. We're just going to listen to her mum and dad. They were very I think it was Fluffy who said she's going to dip out for a bit. Be aware, triggering, very emotional, very sad, obviously. You just like that, actually. Let me share. I need to change the tab over. Yeah, very moving statements from the mum and dad.
Took no pity on my scared.
Oh, just need to go back to the beginning.
Hosea Barrow took no pity on my scared, panicked, and struggling child. There is no end to the pain, suffering, and loss that we have experienced or will continue to endure. On that horrific day, my precious daughter was attacked, beaten, and shown no mercy. She fought for her life and dignity and to save herself from being brutally raped. This sick, twisted, and evil coward showed no regard for Laken or human life. We are asking that same be done to him. Laken had a beautiful and bright future. She was smart, hardworking, kind, thoughtful, and most importantly, she was a child of God. She had a personal relationship with Jesus, and she loved being the hands and feet of his hands and feet in this world.
Yeah, no, I didn't realise that Laken she's very religious, and it reminded me a little bit of Micah, Micah Miller, because of how she had this religious connection, didn't she, with Jesus, etc. And knowing, because Jose, he'll be a Catholic, because they're all Catholics, aren't they? The majority of them are Hispanic. And I think I thought when I was listening to this, I thought this will get to him a bit. But he's very impassive. And you think, is it because he is so thick, he's not, has he really got there's no emotions? He doesn't look anything, or does he feel some remorse for Laken? He's a real conundrum to me. But anyway, doesn't matter. He's going away, so.
She shared her love for our Lord with others through her mission trips, working with elderly at the nursing homes, and through her nursing career. Laken was an amazing friend, sister, niece, daughter, and granddaughter. Anyone who knew her knew about her loving heart. Laken's life.
Yeah, because he does look at the mother as well. He is looking at her. He is looking, and the interpreter's translating. But there's still like nothing. He's not looking sad. He's not looking sorry, but he's not looking angry. He just looks bored to me. He just looks bored with the whole thing. It's like he's just sitting there, just going through the motions.
Life was not the only life taken on that day that Hosea Barra attacked her. The life of her family and friends was taken too. None of us will ever be the same. This monster took away our chances to see Laken graduate from nursing school. He took away our ability to meet our future son-in-law. He destroyed our chances of meeting our grandchildren. And he took my best friend. He ripped away every beautiful memory we will ever be able to make with her again. This horrific individual robbed us all of our hopes and dreams for Laken. Your Honor, I'm asking you to please give Hosea Barra the same thing he gave us when he made the choice to take Laken's life and destroy ours. He showed
Now, I think the prosecution woman walked out, didn't she? Let me just go back. Did she? She was there. That's just what. Oh no, she was still there. Yeah. She does walk out though. She walks out at one point, and I didn't know if she actually did get upset or not, or why did she leave anyway?
He ripped away every beautiful memory we will ever be able to make with her again. This horrific individual robbed us all of our hopes and dreams for Laken. Your Honor, I'm asking you to please give Jose Ibarra the same thing he gave us when he made the choice to take Laken's life and destroy ours. He showed no mercy on Laken when she was begging for her life. There's no end to the pain and suffering that he inflicted on our family and our friends. I'm asking you to please give this monster life without any chance of parole so that he never gets the chance to hurt anyone else ever again.
Your Honor, I stand here today as a grieving father whose heart was shattered in ways I never thought possible.
Now, so Laken's stepfather did speak as well, I think. But anyway, this is a biological father speaking. How as a father, you can imagine, can't you? You would just want to kill this guy. You just want to kill him. As a mother, I would. So, how he kept himself controlled, I don't know.
My daughter, Laken Riley, was not just our child. She was the light of my life, the person who brought joy to every room she entered. And now that light has been extinguished forever, taken from us in the most senseless and violent way imaginable. The pain I feel is unexplainable. Every day I am reminded that my daughter is gone. I will never hear her laugh again, never see her smile, never hold her hand or feel her hug. She was taken from us, from her family, from her friends, from her future.
Yeah, somebody's crying in the background. I presume that's maybe the mother. I don't know. But the prosecution woman, she got up and left. And I wondered if she even got upset. Sorry, not the prosecution woman, the defense woman. Prosecution woman, everyone's upset except him. He's just like sat there as if he's waiting for his McDonald's or something. I mean, he's a very, maybe he did do it before in Venezuela, maybe he had. But his wife said he was a very calm and quiet guy. But you know what? It's always the ones that you don't suspect. These people, they're not, you wouldn't suspect him. He had female friends. There were women that felt comfortable with him. Just didn't know. I mean, I've heard that so many times with so many old cases as well. When they find out who's done it, and their friends, their female friends, can't believe it because the way he acted was not the real person that he was.
Our world has been torn apart, and no matter what happens here today, nothing will ever bring her back. I am haunted by the thought of the fear she must have felt in those final moments, and it breaks my heart knowing that she suffered. I have to live with the fact that I could not protect her when she needed me the most. The pain of not being there, of not being able to stop what happened to her, is something I will never escape. My daughter had so many dreams, so many hopes for the future. She had worked so hard to become a nurse, to work with children and spread the love of God. She was a loving, kind, and intelligent young woman. She had so much to offer the world, and her life was taken from her far too soon. I will never get to see her achieve those dreams. The void that has been left is unmeasurable. The impact of her loss on our family is immeasurable. As a father, I am forever burdened with the pain of losing my child. I will spend the rest of my life trying to navigate this grief, trying to make sense of the world that took my daughter from our family. But I will never forget her. I will keep her memory alive. And
Yeah, I know he is. He's got that weird look on his face. It's very different. I felt like he was just, waiting for it to be over with so he could see what his sentence is. It's just like, oh God, I've got to sit here and listen to this. I don't know. Or maybe he's just sitting there hoping to sit there as long as possible because he knows that once he goes from there, that's it. The next thing is the sentence, and he knows he's been found guilty, so he knows he's going down for a long time.
I hope justice is served for her, not only because I'm her father, but because she deserves it. I ask that you consider this life that was taken, the pain that has been caused, and the lasting effects of this tragedy on everyone who loved our amazing daughter, Laken Hope Riley. Thank you.
Right. Okay. So this is a sentence.
Panicked and struggling child.
Oh no, hang on.
There is no end to the pain, suffering, and loss that we have experienced or will continue to endure. On that horrific
Is this one? Right. Okay. So where am I? Okay, so now we've got the sentence. Now, I haven't played all the impact statements, but you can find them on Court TV or one of these channels. Every single one of them asked the judge to give him the maximum sentence, without life without parole. They all asked him to do that. And let's see what he does give. Or what he did give.
Mr. Ibarra, if you will please stand. Count 1, malice murder. I sentence you to life without the possibility of parole. Count 2 will be vacated as a matter of operation of law. Count 3, vacated by operation of law. Count 4, vacated by operation of law. Count 5, life in.
Look, he looks actually quite shaken there, doesn't he? He sat through all that bloody testimony and all the photos of what he did to Laken. He sat through all that and he was impassive, and all the victim impact statements, and now he looks shaken because how could he not have known? I don't know how he could have not known he was going to prison for life, but obviously he didn't think he was. He actually looks shaken to me for the first time because it's about him.
Prison consecutive to count 1. Count 6, 20 years to serve consecutive to count 5. Count 7 will merge with count 1. Count 8, 12 months consecutive to count 6. Strike that. 12 months, but I don't want it to 6. It's just going to be consecutive. Count 9, 12 months consecutive. Count 10, 5 years consecutive to count 6. So that would mean the misdemeanors would come after the felonies. That will be the sentence. Mr. Barr, I will advise you that you have 30 days from today to seek any post-judgment relief in the form of a motion for a new trial or appealing this case directly. If you make a motion for a new trial and that is denied, you have 30 days from that date to file your first appeal, first level of appeal. Court will appoint a lawyer to represent you if you cannot afford one. I'll also advise you that you have 4 years from the date that your conviction becomes final in order to file a habeas corpus petition. Mr. Donnelly, can you tell me, are you all going to be involved in the next stage?
That remains to be seen, but my understanding is that we will remain on at the court's appointment until unless relieved by conflict counsel.
All right. And you'll make those
We will
arrangements.
communicate that with
I think we should listen to that one more time. It is satisfying hearing all that.
Or if you'll please stand. Count 1, malice murder. I sentence you to life without possibility of parole. Count 2 will be vacated as a matter of operation of law. Count 3, vacated by operation of law. Count 4, vacated by operation of law. Count 5, life in prison consecutive to count 1. Count 6, 20 years to serve consecutive to count 5. Count 7 will merge with count 1. Count 8, 12 months consecutive to count 6. Strike that. 12 months, but I don't want it to 6. This is just going to be consecutive. Count 9, 12 months consecutive. Count 10, 5 years consecutive to count 6. So that would mean the misdemeanors would come after the felonies. That will be the sentence. Mr. Barr, I will advise you that you have,
I mean, you know, I know we can't put ourselves in his mind because we're not like him, luckily, but, you know, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, what is going through his mind, hearing all that, so he knows he's never going to come out of prison. You know, he'd be looked after, yeah, but that's it. Life means life. As far as he's concerned, no parole. I doubt very much if he'll appeal. It'd just be pointless appealing because the evidence was overwhelming. I mean, you know, I still really don't. I think if he would have pled not guilty and, you know, been more contrite and given more details, and maybe would have got maybe at least would have got the chance of parole after 30 years or something. Because at the end of the day, he's only 26, this guy. So he's got a long life in front of him to spend in prison, you know, and no chance of redemption whatsoever. So I don't know why his defense team, due to the overwhelming evidence, didn't say to him, oh, at least, you know, you need to come clean, you need to, you know, show some empathy, some contrition, and maybe even if he would have got 40 years in prison, he'd still only be 66 when he came out. He'd still get a little bit of a life. Very odd. I think this case is really odd, personally.
30 days from today to seek any post-judgment relief in the form of a motion for a new trial or appealing this case directly. If you make a motion for a new trial and that is denied, you have 30 days from that date to file your first appeal, first level of appeal. Court will appoint a lawyer to represent you if you cannot afford one. I'll also advise you that you have 4 years from the date that your conviction becomes final in order to file a habeas corpus petition.
Okay. Very strange thing, wasn't it? And looking at Laken in that photo up in the right-hand corner, so beautiful, so young. And from what everyone was saying about her, a genuinely nice person, training to be a nurse, and listen to all the friends' impact statements. She was like the one that would always cheer them up. She was the inspirational one. One of her friends was saying it was her birthday not long ago, and Laken got up in the early hours of the morning to put all birthday balloons up for her and everything. So she is a real loss to the world, Laken, isn't she? I mean, he's not a loss to the world going into prison like that, except he just, the state has to pay for him, but nobody will miss him. Maybe, I don't know about his mum. His mum's in Venezuela, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she'll miss him. Maybe his ex-wife will miss him. I doubt if his brother will miss him. His brother Diego, who tried to make it look as if he'd done it. It's anyway, I'll never understand why he didn't just plead guilty and go for a bit of a lighter sentence, maybe a chance of one day getting out, because he's young enough. He's young enough to get out, even if he had a hefty sentence. So, very odd. Yeah, I think the family are going to be happy with that result, as happy as they can be, David, aren't they? It doesn't bring Laken back, but they couldn't have, apart from the death penalty, which, to be honest, they sound quite religious. They probably don't believe in the death penalty. Or maybe they do, I don't know. But the death penalty was taken off the table very early on. I'm not sure. I'm going to try and find out why. There was a reason why, but I can't remember where it was. Hang on. Can't see anything, just easy to see why it was taken off the table. It must fit all the criteria for the death penalty, really. So I'm not sure why. Not sure why it was taken, but it was taken off the table before the trial even started. So there was never going to be a death penalty in this case. So was it the family that agreed? Yeah. I think that's probably quite likely, isn't it, Fluffy? Because they seem to be, from what they were saying there, they seem to be quite sort of religious people. So they will probably forgive him, in the end. Because that's, what you're supposed to do, isn't it? But I think that'll take quite a long time, to be honest. How could you forgive him? You can't. And is he going to find, I don't think he's the sort he's going to find God in prison or whatever. He doesn't look like he's got a brain cell two brain cells to rub together, does he? But I don't know. Maybe he'll surprise everybody. And I don't know. When we saw him walking around, like on that CCTV, he was just aimlessly walking around, looking for someone to attack. He had badness in him. He had evil in him. It wasn't like a spontaneous thing that he did. He was looking for somebody. He was looking for somebody, wasn't he? He tried that other door twice, wandered around the campus, looking for someone to attack. And unfortunately for Laken, there she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, just like Rachel Marin. So going back to, like, this is going to have a big effect on what happens when Donald Trump takes over the presidency in January. He's promised all sorts of things, hasn't he, to, close up these loopholes for illegal immigrants, etc. Let's see if he does. He says he's going to. We'll see if he does. But okay, I've got to go because I've got to go and take the dogs out, and then I've got to go and do my taxi run. But thanks for sharing this with me. It is a good feeling that he's been found guilty and he's been sentenced appropriately, hasn't he? And, that's the best you can hope for, but still obviously never brings Laken back. Okay, I'll see you really soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like. And if you aren't subscribed, please think about subscribing. It's completely free. Okay, I'll see you really soon. All take care, and I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.